Hello students, this is Brian from FinancialTrainingSchool.com, and this is not an announcement video. This is, if I had to call it something, more of a reflection video. It's not really scripted. Originally what I wanted to do was to just simply issue an official statement, but then I reconsidered. I figured you guys would want the backstory, and then after I thought about that, I figured it'd be better just to make a reflection video, because at this point in time, I think Financial Training School is kind of at the fork in the road, where it can either go one direction or the other direction. So that's why I want to make a reflection video, just to reflect on the past, present, and future. So going back to the past, to the very beginning, we're talking January 1st, 2012. At the time, I only had FinancialTrainingJournal.com, which was my personal trading blog where I posted my trades and Forex Weekly analysis. And then, so going back to why I originally made videos in the first place, I started trading buying options back in October 2010, and then I joined Buying Options Daily, which is a forum for those of you that don't know, on, I think it was like around Christmas 2010. And at the time, there were only about 6 or 8 of us, which is why we were the original 6, if you will, on that forum. And then eventually David just made all of us moderators as the forum got more popular and gained more members. Throughout 2011, by around, so like I was a moderator and all that stuff, and we used to, as new people would come, because this was 2011, so this was 2 years ago when buying options wasn't well known yet. So when people would come to the forums, they would usually ask us, where would you go to help, where would you get to learn how to trade buying options, etc., etc. As the moderators, we were there, we would help people in the chat and post forums and posts and all that stuff to help people, but like there wasn't anything concrete at the time. And then around August 2011, I believe, that's when Trade Rush came out with their 60-second buying options. The moderators tried it out, and at the first it failed, but then because of the platform issues, and then by around October, December, it was fixed, and then it started up again. And everybody knew of, I don't know how it started exactly. I think either I made a forum post of my 60-second strategy, and that started it, or I talked about it in the chat, and people wanted me to make a video to showcase the strategy. Either one of those, and then either one of them would lead to episode 1 of my original How I Trade Buying Options series. That's the 60-second strategy video, which to this date is still pretty popular. Most of the emails I get regarding 60 seconds will revolve around that one. Most people on the forums, whenever they mention 133 tick, I figured they must have watched my video, because no one else in the buying options world, as far as I know, has used that in their strategy explicitly. So I'm guessing it's from me, kind of thing. So I kind of introduced it into the world of buying options. But that's how the first video was made, 60-second buying options. After the first one was made, the feedback from the forum was pretty good, so I decided to make more videos. And that's kind of, I believe the second video was candlesticks or price action. I'm not entirely sure. Either one of those two. But that's why the beginning of the How I Trade Buying Options series was more hardcore, because it was the request of the forum members, so people who already knew how to trade buying options but just wanted the next step. So that's why I started with 60-second buying options, and then went to candlesticks, price action, and then after that I started getting the newbie questions, and then that's why the strategy, the newbie strategy, I believe, is either episode 5 or episode 6. I don't really remember the order of the original series, but like that's how that series started. It was based on the forum. And that's why it's not really structured properly. It was from hardcore stuff, then newbie stuff, then some more hardcore stuff, then newbie stuff. And then at the end of it all, starting at episode 15 or 14, I believe, that's where the psychology videos began, because it was lacking. Everybody knew the concrete stuff, but then they didn't have the thought process. And then the psychology videos were made, and then that leads to the end of the original How to Trade Binary Options series, and that ended in February, mid-February 2012, around midterm season. That's why I stopped, because I had to focus on my midterms at the time. So that's why I had to stop that. But then in that time lapse between midterms and finals, I decided to restructure it, because it wasn't structured properly. As I mentioned, hardcore newbie wasn't flowing properly. So that's why I made Financial Training School. The goal of Financial Training School was unlike the goal of the original series. The original series was, Brian, can you make this video? Can you make this video? Can you show us how to do this? Blah, blah, blah. That's it. That was a request base rather than from a personal standpoint going outwards. It was outside going inside. So that's the difference between the Financial Training Journal series and the Financial Training School series. Financial Training School was from the ground up. Literally from the ground up. Because, and this is, I guess, how Financial Training School was born. The way I viewed it was, this is the world of finance. These are all of the other websites teaching you how to trade, and this is where you enter. There's this gap here. So I aim to reduce that gap with Financial Training School. And, I mean, I opened Financial Training School May 2012, I believe. It's October 2013 now. It's been about a year and a half. But if you include the original series, then it's been almost 2 years now. So a year and a half to almost 2 years I've been doing this, and from the testimony so far, most people like it. So I must be on the right track. I mean, whenever people come on the forum now, it's just easy. Just go to Brian's site. Here you go, have fun. All the videos are free. Watch all the videos, take your time, get through them, learn it right, learn it once, use it forever. Done. This wasn't around in 2011, 2010. There were no resources back then for education. Like, even now, I mean, I guess there are a few now, but I don't want to, rain on anyone's parade, but they're not exactly up to par. And I don't blame them, because this is free, right? Nobody would really produce the quality of my videos for free, because it takes a considerable amount of time and effort and knowledge to produce that content for free, and especially in PowerPoint form. Most people who teach, for the most part, they don't really have PowerPoints. They just, here's a chart, I'm just going to talk about it, have fun. And then hopefully you'll have to watch it a few times, follow along. But with PowerPoint is taught, and this is revolving around how Financial Training School was, I guess, formulated. It was made to mimic a university college environment, which is why the course codes are kind of like a university course. Because in university you might have, for example, economics would be ECO 101 or 100 or 102, 210, 215, it was meant to mimic that. So now that we're at this stage of talking about Financial Training School, when I decided to make Financial Training School, this was back in April, the end of March 2012, getting into the beginning of April 2012, that's when the thought of making Financial Training School started, and that was final season. Final exams, I technically should be focusing on final exams, but in the spare time I was making videos to prep. That's why if you go back, in the timeline of all my videos, between May 1st and May 2nd or 3rd, 2012, there were 27 videos uploaded right away, because those were pre-made in April. That's why just a whole bunch right there. And then after that was a trickle stream of one or two every so often, every couple weeks or something like that, or once every week. I'm not sure. You need to go through and check them. So that's why it was made like that. That's why it was launched like that. But the goal originally, and I mean at the time, it seemed like a pretty big goal. I thought I was going to do this, but now that we're a year and a half into this, I highly doubt it. I'm ever going to achieve that goal. Originally, what I wanted to do was to teach general trading, binary options, forex, and stocks, because that's what I trade, right? I have a stock portfolio, but that's mainly investing, which is why I haven't started that series. I'll talk more about that later on. The Forex series, which is started with a teaser 5 videos, but that one hasn't really continued. And then you have the binary option series, which everyone knows about, and the general trading series, which everyone knows about. Each series has 100, 200, 300, 400 series, so that's equivalent of first, second, third, fourth year courses in university. Originally, and this is, I did think about this at the time, what I wanted to do was, I wanted to fill up all 4 series. So literally 100, 101, all the way to 199, then 200, 201, 299, 300, 301, 399, 400, 401 to 499. Literally, I wanted to have 400 videos in each discipline. And I mean, I maintained that mindset for most of 2012, and I guess a little bit of 2013 as well. But then I realized that that's an impossible goal. Even real universities and colleges don't have that many courses. If you go to university and check out their economics curriculum, they might have intro to economics in first year. That's all they have. Second year, you have micro, macro, and I don't know, stats probably. And then third year, you have the other economics, labor economics, international economics, stuff like that. And then fourth year, you have advanced micro, macro, and advanced stats or something. And that's it. Total courses is probably, I don't know, probably in the 40, 50 course range, something like that. But then each course obviously has weekly lectures and all that stuff. So each course is more dense, but the actual number of courses is not that many. It's sparse. So compared to my videos, which all of the individual videos are, I guess you could say they're dense. They're not really dense. They're just focused. Because if you've watched any of my videos, I usually just get straight to the point. It's just, here it is. Here's a theory. Here's an example. Here's a chart example. Have fun. Done. That's it. I don't need to waste your time. I don't want to waste mine. So here you go. That's it. That's all you need to know. Obviously, there's extra stuff, and you can learn that on your own on other websites. Have fun, but that's pretty much that's all there is to it. And then, so my lessons were shorter. So that's the comparison. University courses usually 12 weeks long, 3-hour lectures per week, and you get problem sets. This is 10-15 minutes each course, but I wanted to have a lot of courses. But I realized that's impossible because I literally ran out of ideas towards the end of 2012 last year. And that's kind of why I haven't really been producing that many videos. Because I realized this is education. This is not a vlog or a blog or a journey. You know, this is education. That's it. What else is there to learn, kind of thing. So we're nearing the present and future of Financial Trading School now. So presently, actually, let's just go back to the past for a minute here. Financial Trading School originally from day one was always intended to be free. Okay, I'm guessing some of you out there are probably watching, just waiting for this line. There will never be a cost associated with Financial Trading School, and I stated that previously as well. Financial Trading School will always be free, right? Financial Trading Journal, also free, which produces my FX Weekly analysis. So for those of you that, most people trade binary options, so only the Forex people know about it. But my Forex Weekly analysis comes out every Saturday, and that's pretty much the only videos I've been producing for the past, 4 months now. So those two things will always be free. I never intended to charge anyone for that because I figured it should be freely available, but it's not easily obtainable. So it should be free, but it's not obtainable. So I just made it obtainable. So it's still free. So that's why Financial Training School is free. So moving forwards, Financial Training School will always remain to be free. And here comes the problem. Despite it being free, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'll maintain it forever. Right? Because I can't. Like, I mean, if I have videos to produce, they'll be free. But it's going to be limited in the sense of, if I ran out of ideas, then that's it, we're done. It's still free, but I have nothing to produce. So that's kind of where we're at right now with the future of Financial Training School. And to talk about this more in depth, let's talk about YouTube. And the reason why it'll stay free forever. The videos were all uploaded on YouTube. Okay, so I don't think it should be any question or confusion. I'm not a YouTuber. I don't have any AdSense ads enabled on my videos. I don't rely on ad revenue to produce the videos. That would be pennies anyway, so it doesn't really matter in the long run. So I'm not a YouTuber. That's the first thing you guys have to understand about me is I used YouTube as a medium to share my videos with you guys, to share my message. But it wasn't to make money like other YouTubers on YouTube. Like, I know, like all of the famous YouTubers, they make videos every day. So you can't compare me to them, and that's kind of the point that I'm getting at with the free but not maintaining part. Those YouTubers do YouTube as their full-time job, and it's easy for them to do that because they're either making funny videos, or they're casting games, or they're making vlogs, or whatever. That's ongoing. That's easy to make that content, and you just have to be funny to get that audience. Obviously, these videos weren't intended to be funny. They're intended to be educational. There are a few jokes inserted into some of the lessons when the opportunity arises, but for the most part, it's all serious and education. So, obviously, there is an end eventually. So that's why I can't maintain. So I just want to get that out there. Yeah, so like, not maintaining, not a YouTuber. So yeah, so the one last thing I want to say about YouTube, and this was effective this week, you guys may have noticed this, all of the comments on all of the videos were disabled as of Wednesday this week, I believe, or Tuesday, don't really remember. Comments were disabled across the board. Every single video comments were disabled. You can't comment on any of my videos anymore. Starting from the beginning, comments were available. You could use comments to post questions, whatever. For the most part of 2012, so from January 1st to about, I'd say, August, they were just public comments, so you could just comment. But then in about August, September, that's when the spammers started targeting my videos, and that's when I set the comments to approve only. So, but then from September to, I think, about April this year, I still went through the approved comments and looked for the questions and answered them. So they were still answered, and they were still public. Then, starting from May this year, end of April or May, I'm not really sure, around that time, that's when I just stopped. At that time, the spammers just increased their frequency. I would get 10 spam comments for every one real comment. So to spend time to fish through the comments to find the real ones would be annoying. So I just stopped doing that altogether. And I guess some people didn't get the message, or they didn't pick up on that. So this week I just decided that's it. No more comments, so you guys don't even have the opportunity to ask comments, which means you guys have to seek other ways to contact me, which means to go on the website and contact me by email. And that's usually the best way to contact me anyways, because for anyone who has ever emailed me, you'll know that I usually reply within 24 to 48 hours. It's usually a quick reply, because it's business ethics to or business etiquette. Yeah, business etiquette, not business ethics, to reply in a timely fashion. So moving forwards, no comments on YouTube. If you want to ask a question, or if you have a question or whatever, just go on my website and email me, Brian@financialtrainingschool.com or Brian@financialtrainingjournal.com. Either one, I answer both of them. I check both of them. I have one monitor dedicated to email, which refreshes every 5 minutes. So every 5 minutes it goes through all the email accounts and checks for new messages. So as soon as I see it, then most likely I'm going to answer it. Like, I might see it, I might not answer right away because I have to think about a reply. But eventually it's going to be answered, and for the most part, I do answer it in a timely fashion. So that's emails, comments. Now for the future of Financial Training School and the reflection part of the initial goals of Financial Training School. So as I mentioned, I originally set out to teach general trading, money options, Forex, and stocks. Stocks, for the most part, is out of the question. That's it. I'll just say it right now, I never plan to teach stocks. Originally, I was going to, but I realized that I don't know that much about stocks, or it's not within my capacity to teach stocks. I don't think I'm qualified enough. Let's just put it that way. Because I'm not a bullshitter. Most of you who have watched my videos, I'm straight to the point, I'm honest, tell the truth. I'm not a bullshitter. If I sit here, I'm not going to bullshit you, right? I'm not going to try to teach you something I don't know. That's not going to happen. Because that would make me a bullshitter, which I'm not. So, to remain honest, I'd rather just not teach it at all. Unless I teach it and put a disclaimer in it and say that I may not know everything, but here it is. I'd just rather not do that because that's just a waste of time. Because what if I teach you something wrong, which has happened in one of the videos, actually, in the, I think it was GT 104 or something, order types. There was a confusing point at one point in time when I was rewatching that video. I was like, that's not right. I don't know if I explained it properly or not. So like, I revisited in the GT 200 series for execution of order types, and that one clarified the mistakes early on. But by definition point of view, what I explained was right, but in reality it's never used, which is why I was confused. But that's why I made the second video, execution of order types, to clarify the mistake. So that's fine. But as far as stocks goes, that's never happening. I'm more of an investor. I've realized throughout the past 2 years. When I first traded stocks in 2010, I was more of a trader back then. And that was kind of like day trading, penny stocks, the quick moving stocks. And that was great, but that was mainly based on rumors and technicals. So there's not much to teach there. And I'm not really qualified to teach, because in order to teach stocks, you should know all the different filings, so like SEC for certain filings for like bankruptcy and forward split, reverse split. Like, people who read news releases, like to get good in stocks, you pretty much have to be on the top of your game to get news. So you need to either have a news feed, which will feed you all of the different filings from all the different companies out there, and as soon as one files for, say, a reverse split or something, then you want to know why. Or if they issued a dividend or something, you want to know when I forget what the date is called. You need to get in order to get the dividend. Like, you need to hold the stock before a certain date to get a payout, and then after that date, it usually falls. So you might get in and short it, or you might get in and get the dividend, etc. There's just stuff like that I'm not at the top of my game for, because I'm not in that game, because stocks, for the most part, is mainly for rich people. You really need a lot of money to trade stocks. Like, for example, just on Friday, this past Friday, Google's released earnings, I believe, and their share price is over $1,000 now. Literally, one share of Google is $1,000. Compared to buying options, that's like a very relaxed deposit for the first time deposit. Because minimum deposit for buying options is like $200, $250, something like that. One share of Google is $1,000. One share of that is the equivalent of a computer or something, a very good computer at that. So it's just a different ball game, for a different class of people, I guess. Like, I don't mean that in a bad way, but like, if you don't have enough money to trade it, there's no point doing it because you're going to make very little money. So I'm not at the point where I can make a lot of money doing it. So I'm more of an investor than a trader, which is why I'm never really going to teach stocks. Like, maybe like 10 years down the road when I'm actively trading stocks, and I might consider it, but until then, not likely. So stocks is out of the question. And then we have Forex. Forex right now, there are 5 teaser videos, effectively, which go through the basics of Forex, leverage, money management, risk management, and I don't remember what the 5th one is. But like, it basically, I think it's the orders, I'm not sure. It has to do with basically what I explained in the 5 videos were the core price and trade mechanisms of trading Forex. So with that knowledge of how do you execute trades, you can pretty much just have to focus on entries and exit for trades. I haven't made this video yet, but what I plan to do, and I'm really on the fence for this one. I had about I'd say like 17 to 20 Forex topics laid out. I haven't made the PowerPoints yet. Like, some of them have content in them, but it's not concrete yet. I'd have to go through all the lessons and make the lesson plans, and then make the PowerPoints, and then record it and edit it and all that stuff. So they're not made yet. I have the ideas for what I could be doing for the Forex series, but at this point with the bounty option series, it seems repetitive because you could effectively just use the bounty option series plus the 5 videos from Forex, plus my FX Weekly analysis to learn how to trade. I haven't made the announcement or the video to announce this yet, but basically FX 106, which is the next lesson in the series, will just be, I'm not continuing the series anymore. You know the price mechanisms or the trade mechanisms of how to enter trades and exit trades based on risk tolerance and all that stuff from the first 5 videos. With that, you can just use my FX Week analysis to learn price action, and then you can have fun. And then if you really have trouble, then you can go to pretty much every Forex site on there, and they all pretty much hammer out how to trade Forex. Like babypips.com, for example. Pretty much, I wouldn't say everything on that website is useful, but they teach the formal approach. Like, what I do with my videos is kind of the informal approach, because I don't tell you everything. I only tell you what you need to know. Whereas they tell you everything, and then it's just overwhelming what they tell you. So Forex, for the most part, is ironed out. Like, Forex is an old industry. It's been around, or at least Forex as we know it has been around for about, like, 15, 20 years now. Same with stock. So those, I'm not scared to tell you to go out there to learn those things, because it's out there. Whereas with buying options, it still doesn't really exist. So Forex series is probably going to stop where it is right now. In the future, and I mentioned this previously as well, that I may decide to learn another asset to trade, which would be vanilla options. Vanilla options will be the last thing I learn how to trade, because I already know stocks, forex, and bounty options. Vanilla options is the last one that I'd learn, and maybe Nadex options, which is similar, which is in the middle of bounty options and vanilla options. So that's pretty much it. Like, in terms of how far or how much knowledge I plan to attain as myself as a trader. But when that does happen, that one will probably be more trading than investing. But even, like, I don't want to make any promises, but if there were to be another series, it would be the vanilla option series. That one would come out before the stock series. The stock series, I can say, minimum 10 years before that one ever comes out. Like, if it does come out. Like, most likely not. Vanilla options will be next in line. Or the Forex series, if anything. But that's pretty much where I stand in the future of Forex. If this was an official statement, basically the last 3 minutes would have been in the statement, and then that would have been a little vague, and you would have been wondering, well, why is he suddenly doing this? So that's why I had the reflection in there as a backstory. But I just want to go back and re-emphasize something. The videos will always be free, and this is a point I left out earlier. The videos are already on YouTube. They've been on YouTube from day one. They've been on my channel from day one. YouTube is free. YouTube will, as far as I can tell, YouTube will always be free as well. Google, I don't think they'll ever charge money for you guys to view videos, because that would pretty much just shrink their traffic to nothing. They do have movies and stuff like that. It's kind of like pay-per-view. But for actual videos from users like me, the videos will always be free. So I can say that the videos will always remain to be free. Like, I mean, it's online anyway. So chances are, and from speaking to people have already done this. People have downloaded my videos. In the event I ever go the paid route, they'll always have a free copy. But I've already said that's never going to happen, because I can't even do it if I wanted to at this point. Right? How do you have a free service which turns, or a free product? This is not a service, this is a product. A free product turns into a paid product. It doesn't happen, because the free product's already out there. You might be able to do it for something that's limited in quantity, but with media like this, you can just copy files and release hundreds of them, so it wouldn't matter. So it will always be free. So you don't have to worry about that. Like, some people have told me they've downloaded all the videos onto their iPad, they watch it before they go to bed at night, or they watch it while they're exercising on the cardio, or on the treadmill or elliptical or something like that. And then some people even convert the videos to MP3s and listen to it on their way to work or while working out, whatever floats your boat. I mean, I'm flattered that you guys value me that high, or that I have that stature in your mind. And I mean that's great. If it helps you, do whatever works. Right? Everyone learns their own way. Do whatever works for you. If it works, keep doing it. So I think that covers pretty much everything about Financial Training School. What else is there? I'm going to pause the video here for a minute. Let me think about this. And then when I think about something else to add, I'll come back. Or if I can't, then we're just going to end off the video right here. Okay, so the only thing I can really think to add is regarding the general trading and buying option series. Since the Forex series is stopped, stock series is not going to be made. Vanilla options is to be announced, basically, and that's actually like 5 years from now. Binary option general trading, I'm at the point where I don't know what else to teach. Like, if I want to go the easy route to make videos just simply for the sake of making videos, I would basically go on a Forex forum and find about 100 systems, and that's effectively the 300 series of the binary option series. That's pretty much what that 300 series was intended to be for random strategies and systems applied in the binary options world. I mean, I could do that anytime I wanted to. That just requires effort for me to go through a system and test it out for a couple weeks to a month or something, and I can obviously test out 4 or 5 systems at the same time, and then just make videos like that. I can make 5 videos a month doing that if I just wanted to make videos, but those would be like kind of like rushed content. It's not really, there's no heart in those contents. Let's just say that. Like, all of the lessons, like, I put my heart into it because I want you guys to learn something. Though those videos can be made at any point in time, but those are kind of like, they're kind of code lessons, because it's just A and B, have fun. It's not a complex thing. There's no other factors into it, right? Whereas with the lessons, it's just, here you go. I'm trying to help you here. Have fun. The other one's just have fun. So I guess I'll just say this to end off. Financial Training School will always be here. It'll always be free. in terms of like I'll always pay for the servers to make sure that the website's always online. Although there's nothing really on the website, most of the content is on YouTube anyway, so that would never be a problem. I would never turn it into a membership site because that's impossible. I already explained how you can't turn a free product into a paid product. That's never going to happen. The only thing I can promise is if I make any videos in the future, they will always continue to be free as part of Financial Training School. That's pretty much it. So yeah, since the comments are disabled on YouTube, so you can't actually even leave comments below. Normally I would ask you to leave comments below, but in this case, if you guys have any comments or feedbacks or suggestion on this reflection video or the contents of it, then send me an email to brian@financialtrainingschool.com. Let me know what you think. So until next time, take care and good luck trading.